Let me say this first. Satan is busy. He's on my track. Trying so very hard just to try to make me turn back. But I ain't going back and shit. Lord, I won't be spitting. See, I just gotta do what you want me to do. Yeah. Take me by my hand. Oh, it's so willing. Yeah. I wanna do what you want me to do. See, I follow where you lead. The mountains of the sea. So Lord, take my hand and just use me. Oh, here I am, Jesus, Jesus. Yes, I'm saved, delivered. Oh, I'm yours, I'm yours.
Wake up! It's the Rich Living Morning Show with Bishop Richard Harper, lifting your spirit through gospel hits and conversations.
Good morning. Good morning. We are live on our Facebook page, our YouTube page. So you've tuned into Mix It Up Monday with Bishop Rich and Chasity. Latrice, we've been having a good morning. I gave y'all a little Friday flavor there. So I think that's what Chad was laughing at because, on the Friday praise party, that's when we play our regional, we play our regional gospel music. We play, see, if you listen on Friday, we play house, we play gospel house, we play gospel soul, we play praise Zydeco, we play the hip hop. We do all of that on the praise party. We do that.
Right. I mean, it wasn't the music. It was just when I heard Signed, Sealed, Delivered, I was just like, wait.
See? Now you know how we feel when we listen to Christian hip hop.
No, you don't. Listen.
Look, sometimes some of those beats, they catch us too and take us back to the yard. We be thinking that we had I'm gonna take you way back. We think we had a Master P concert or something. Because I heard a song the other day, and I swear they was about to say you're a paper chaser. And in a minute, Shondo. The bishop had to bring it back in because I almost went back to Paul Quinn on y'all for real.
Oh, wow.
On that song. I told Brittany, I was like, I thought he was about to say paper chaser.
See, I can't. Listen, as an artist, I do not believe in remaking somebody else's music. Like, I'm not a fan of it. I get it, because it catch the ear quicker, but I'm just not a fan. I think God is pretty creative. So I think we can stop doing that now.
Well, hey, to each its own. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Because actually James Cleveland took Jesus is the best thing that ever happened to me, was actually Gladys Knight song. You are the best thing that ever happened to me. And he said in the song, he says, that's way before your time. But he's like, and before my time, but I love gospel music, classic gospel music. And he said, I don't know who Gladys was singing about, but I'm singing about Jesus. So, sometimes we can do that, but thank God you're such a creative. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Check it out, Chasity. Do you see what I'm?
Yeah, you was muted at first. I had said I like the combo with the fatigue with the black.
I'm gonna take a picture of this because I'm sick of seeing other people.
I can't with you.
I'm tired of seeing other people on your social media.
I'm just saying, take the picture. I tell people, you take the picture, tag me in it.
Hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Just keep talking.
So yeah, we have new merch coming out with Get Humble. So make sure you are following me on Instagram, and we're gonna be fly together.
I'm sorry, y'all, but Rodney Bigham the host of the Rodney Bigger Morning Show on our Street 100 station next to me. Y'all see Rodney and I, we play pranks on her all the time. Rodney cannot sing, and you know, people that can't sing always sing loud. And he forgets to close his door. So he's over there singing, Try a Little Tenderness in all kinds of keys. So I didn't want y'all to hear that.
Wow.
Rodney is singing in every key that's off the chart. I mean,
funny.
he creates chords like he's a true vocal genius. Who's tuned in?
Trying to pull that Leandria on him.
Okay, he is. He just pulls out stuff from everywhere. Yes, yes, yes. Good morning, E. Frank. We're glad to see you on this morning. Good morning to you, Katina Smith, Miss Paul Quinn. Good morning to you. Thank you for joining us, and all of you, and you. It is Mix It Up Monday conversation that we're going to have today. We're going to talk a little bit about the Travis Scott incident. I mean, Chasity, these stories just, they are becoming wilder and wilder. I mean, and the news that's coming in from various situations, people who had passed, a member of a security team appeared to be injected by with some type of drug. A young man died trying to save his fiance's life. Another aspiring model was in the crowd and he died. And we're going to also have joining us a little bit later Jay Renee, who is one of our local media sisters. She was actually there. She and I, we were covering the philanthropic events that took place the days prior to the actual concert. So there was a lot of positive things that happened the days prior to the Astroworld concert. The festival had a lot of community events that took place, and Travis Scott invests in the Houston community where he's from. And so we met there, but she was there because somebody was worried, concerned. One of my relatives was like, I'm checking on you and Brittany. I know y'all were out there. I said, no, baby, we were not out there. You weren't going to catch Bishop out there at the Astroworld Festival. I know my limitations. And when I realized somebody called me Unc one time, it was time for me to go. That's how Chastity, I'm not gonna lie to you. That's how I got delivered from trying to hang around in places where young people are.
Yeah.
Somebody called me Unc one time, said uncle, and I said, who? No. Y'all ain't gonna reduce me to Uncle Richard. Uncle Richard going home.
That's funny.
Let me go amongst my generation.
That's funny. That's it.
Sometimes, people need to wake up and look at your surroundings and realize what people, recognizing you as you become an auntie and uncle. It's time to go home.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's just time to go home. But anyway, Jay Renee is going to be on with us later in the show because we're going to hear her account. She actually took some videos. She was outside when the stampede happened. So I'm yet wanting to find someone inside to talk about that whole thing that happened inside there. But I want to recognize this. This was reported by Black Enterprise that Steve Harvey and the richest black man, billionaire Robert F. Smith, have teamed up to help HBCU students enjoy more freedom. The Harvey Foundation has teamed up with Robert Smith's Student Freedom Initiative, and it is a philanthropic initiative to help college students, particularly minority students, have more resources that are geared towards helping them have more financial freedom after attending either an HBCU or what's now called an MSI. MSI. I didn't know what that was. See, I'm all about HBCUs and I know about PWIs, predominantly white institutions, and then we are HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities, but MSIs are minority serving institutions.
Hmm.
I learned something there. To achieve professional and personal financial freedom. And the Harvey's participation is expected to triple the number of students that have been participating in the program. So they are expecting to impact nearly over 80,000 students, 80,000 plus students with this initiative. Um, they will have access to quality, affordable higher education is one of the most important steps our community can take towards achieving racial equality, says Harvey, a former stand-up comedian and host of the long-running television game show Family Feud. My team and I are proud to support the work of Robert F. Smith and the Student Freedom Initiative to highlight the outstanding job done by HBCUs and other MSIs to elevate the social and economic mobility of our students to achieve their greatest potential. It is, of course, it's widely known that most minority students graduate with higher debt from higher education. And so this is a good thing to help offer a program and programs that will offer assistance and grants up to $20,000 a year to help pay for schooling and help to fill in the funding gaps because those gaps are there. So shout out and kudos to Robert Smith and the Harvey Foundation for doing that. And I encourage everybody out there, you know, you may not be able to do a million or 100,000 or something like that, but when it comes to a student in college, y'all don't realize $200 or $300 will help buy a book. five
A
hundred
book.
dollars. I mean, that will help you buy a book. And coming from that experience, it is a blessing. It is a blessing. And some of you churches, when you have universities, especially HBCUs, I'm telling you how you get HBCU students in your church, in your choir. You start having food on Sundays, just one or two Sunday a month, and let those kids know at those HBCUs come to your church for a home cooked meal. I guarantee you, you will have them in the door. All right.
That's funny.
Chasity, what's going on with you?
Everything. So it's just been busy. With the music stuff and the brand and things like that. Had the opportunity to meet Erica Campbell. Shout out to them. And,
Yes, shout out to them. I was so excited to see that. I was like, come on, see,
yeah.
you saved. I'm up there with Travis and you with Erica. Y'all saving people.
We say, okay. Yeah, no, it was dope. She's super sweet, humble. I thought that was pretty awesome. She's definitely much shorter in person than I thought she was. Guess that them heels that the sister be working.
Did you went to the studio? Were you there in studio? I was a little confused. I was trying to figure out if you had gone in the studio.
Yeah, I was in the studio with her co-host Griff,
Okay.
and TJ, and then I met Erica in the studio. It was pretty cool.
What did you do? Were you on the show?
No, not yet, but it's gonna happen.
Oh, it's gonna happen. So all right, as long as you ain't missing on Mondays, you go to any show you want to go to. Bishop was first.
Yes. Hey, listen, right here first, right here on the Rich Living Morning Show.
No, honey. We will never ever hold anybody back. Ever. When those opportunities come, you know, I'm the first to say bye. You need to go.
Bye.
Kick you out of the nest.
It's been sweet. I was like, no.
I'm telling you, yeah, that's what we're supposed to do. I mean,
yeah.
We want to see the next generation go further than what we had gone through, and that you guys learned from the mistakes you watched us make, and that you won't have to make those mistakes.
Amen.
And it makes it a little bit easier for you to climb. So you were hanging out with Erica Campbell and everything. So I mean, what is that? What's working out for the brand with that? What's the tea?
Look, what's the tea?
What's
Listen,
the tea?
she loves the brand. Griff loves the brand. So that within itself, and I'm working on something. We'll shout it out here first, but let me work on it first, and then we'll throw it out there. But know that they love the brand. So,
That's good. That's
yeah.
good. I'm excited about all of those activities, and also, you were nominated for some awards.
I
It's my
was.
winning season.
Come on here now.
It's your winning season.
Yeah, I was nominated for 3 awards. So yeah, I appreciate those who voted and put me on, and I mean, I'm just grateful for every opportunity that God is opening doors for, and just staying focused and staying humble. That's what I'm gonna do.
Now, what award was this you were nominated for?
Ooh.
So you gotta go to your Facebook page to see.
I'm definitely looking because it's on my phone and I'm on my phone.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, it's all on
Well,
my
guys,
phone.
if you're not following Chasity
Follow
on
me.
social media, please follow. I am Chasity Latrice on Instagram, and you
Yes.
can follow Chasity Latrice Henderson. They're on Facebook. They're on Facebook, and she has been nominated for the One Way Radio second anniversary.
Yeah. So it's a female artist of the year,
Mhm.
gospel / rapper / urban artist of the year,
Mhm.
and young artist of the year.
That's good. That's good. I am so excited, and I want everybody to please go and vote. And we'll make sure we put that link out there in the comments so that you can vote for Chasity. And we're excited about all of these great opportunities and endeavors, because when y'all go up, I go up.
Yeah.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. And that's the thing about generations that a lot of people just don't get, especially in the church. Because you and I, we talk a lot about church culture. And in church culture, we get into this where the crab syndrome, the crab in the barrel. And I know for some of us, as we are becoming more seasoned in life, there are opportunities that we may have missed, or there's support that we didn't have, or access that we didn't gain. So we're trying to compete, and we're trying to get into these places, and we're trying to do this. So sometimes in that process, we begin to step on those that we should be lifting up. You see, we begin to step on those that we should be lifting up. And if we don't lift the next generation up, because I need y'all to open some doors for me, you know. I do. I need my 30-year-olds and my 20-year-olds. I need y'all, because it's gonna come a day I need y'all to look back and say, hey, I need to bring old Bishop into this, and that's what we're supposed to do. And then I'm equally supposed to do the same thing with what God has given to me. So when we're talking about generations there, y'all, uplift, let the old and the young go forth and the dance together. We got to learn how to dance and go into this thing together in this season, y'all. We need each other, because you don't have it all. You just don't. You don't have it all.
Yeah.
You don't know it all.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to be talking a little bit more with Chaston and I. We're going to be talking with Jay Renee coming up, talking about her experience with the Travis Scott incident, and right after this special song.
Turn down, boot up, worry, never. You don't want us against mountains. Tell it to move, or you climb up. Either way, we cannot be star warriors. warriors, we can't be stopped. Warriors, warriors, we can't be stopped. Turn down, boot up, turn down, boot up, turn down, boot up. We can't be stopped. Call me, I'm the remnant like the 7K. Yeah, roll out with my squad, got God in my day. I pledge on my allegiance, don't you come for me. This is not my shadow, I got armies from the south, don't get it twisted. I have not forgot my mission, Christ my only expedition. I commune here while I visit, you're not with it, that's a shame. H-E-A-S to the grave, I don't bite it, just respect it. That's my brother, so I rep it for the king. That's a chick mate, I'm a queen, check the breastplate. And it's righteous, no mistakes, when he made me, I'm free, so light skinned. But my skin, I do not rep here. It's his glory where I rest in, I'm his servant, so I serve him. That's my creed and that's my amen. Turn down, boot up, worry, never. You don't want us against mountains. Tally to move, or you climb up. Either way, we cannot be stopped. Warriors, warriors, we can't be stopped. Warriors, warriors, we can't be stopped. Turn down, boot up, turn down, boot up, turn down, boot up. We can't be stopped. Get humble, that's Bible. I do all things through the Christ. I'm content with all my life. If I'm broke or if I'm rich, those weapons I won't flinch. I am too legit to quit, and there is nothing I can work for. Grace is faith, not by my niche. That's a like, share it once or share it twice. I'm not looking for your stages. It's the light that paid my wages on the cross. I'm a thief, but he still remembers me, and he changed my heart right on the spot. No doubt he set me free. Turn down, boot up, worry, never. You don't want us against mountains. Tally to move, or you climb up. Either way, we cannot be stopped. Warriors, warriors, we can't be stopped. Warriors, warriors, we can't be stopped. Turn down, boot up, turn down, boot up, turn down, boot up. We can't be stopped. Warriors, warriors, we can't be stopped. Warriors, warriors, we can't be stopped. Turn down, boot up, turn down, boot up, turn down, boot up. We can't be stopped.
New music from our very own Chasity Latrice. Woo! That's fire. I had to turn it down, Chasity. They had the whole station like vibrating and stuff. So security was going to be bamming on the door. Bum, 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 bum.
We put the bass on it.
You chill out. You definitely put the bass on it. All right, Chasity, we got to talk about it. Travis Scott.
Yeah.
I was there. I was not there for the festival, the music side of it, but I was there for the philanthropic, the community efforts, the planting of the garden at the school, the opening of the state-of-the-art youth facility. That's a $1 million facility, hands down, $1 million facility. The game, the celebrity softball game, raising money for the initiatives, raising a lot of money. All of that was good. All of that was positive. But then we get to this tragedy. That many who were attending. Now, I don't know how many of these people are actually proven, but there were a lot of people on the inside that said they felt something demonic, some type of demonic presence or something satanic about it. And that was their experience. Some of them felt that way, and that's exactly how they felt. And what's your take on the Chasity?
This is why Chasity Latrice only listen to gospel. So I'm not a fan, and and I know this is stretch on some stuff, but some stuff is just not demonic. Don't get me wrong, people that listen to anything outside of that, but some of these, especially these new rappers, new artists, period, because it's not just rappers. New artists are into a lot of satanic worship, and they're open about it. They're not quiet about it. The whole stage looked like a whole eye with fire coming out of it.
It looked like hell.
It looked like hell. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like people are pretending that they're not into certain stuff. So when you expose your children, allow your children to listen to this stuff, and it's entering their eye gates and their ear gates, you're allowing these things to overtake them. when you have multiple people saying they felt like they couldn't breathe and it was like a hell experience, you got these same people that's saying this in real life, and you have the same comparison to people who have had dreams with that same type of feeling in the chest of couldn't breathe, that heat, you know what I'm saying? It's the same description, and you're gonna sit here and try to tell me, that that's not demonic. It's definitely demonic, and I shame on the parents that let their kids get into this stuff, because a lot of these people they grown, you made your decision, you chose, whatever you chose or whatever, to each his own. We all got to work out our own soul salvation, but at the end of the day, I don't believe nothing that the news gonna say, because they gonna try to make it like this tragedy was because of certain things that happened, but we know in the spirit realm this happened because of demonic spirits. And so I'm sticking to that, and I'm gonna keep praying, and I really hope that it opens people's eyes to changing their music.
I definitely agree with you, Chastity, and I said it from the very beginning. Just sitting in conversation with friends and family and other colleagues. You know, it, how can I say this? Usually, when you listen to speeches, you always hear some type of reference to the Lord, some type of reference to God. That none of that was there, even in the press conferences or whatever. And I'm not slamming them. Anybody can have their whatever their beliefs are, how they choose to do things. But usually, you can sense some type of God being there when we have these types of situations. And this was a panic that went through, this satanic panic that went through the crowd, and it caused people to act in such a way. There are many people in the limelight, and I'm going to tell y'all something too, not just people on the secular side, okay? Some of your prophets that you all enjoy, that's calling your names out and telling you your social security numbers, let me hip you to some, boo. They got spiritual workers working for them in the background. They're drinking stuff and channeling all kinds of spirits and things like that. And some of these crowds that you're running into, even in the church, you see, and this is something that was in the Bible when it came to Nebuchadnezzar and the three Hebrew men or boys, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They wouldn't bow to the image, and they would not dance. They would not dance and bow to that particular image. And so we've got to be very, very careful, and we need to be discerning to know that there are dark forces out there. There are dark forces, there are demonic presence, demonic entities, and people have tapped into and engaged in all types of spiritualism for success. Now, let me say, like Larry Reed would say, this is alleged, okay? Because I know this is out on YouTube. So I don't want anybody to say, well, Bishop Rich and Chastity was saying that Travis Scott is a devil worshiper or anything like that. No, we're not saying that, because we have no proof of that. But what we can say is that certain events draw certain spirits. Items and certain symbolisms draw certain spirits. And I do believe all of the claims that many of the attendees have shared, many of the stories that they have shared, their feeling and what they were going through. I've got someone, let's see, Jay Renee, are you here?
Yes, sir. Over here.
There you go. There you go. Hey, y'all.
Hi.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
It's Jay. It's my new friend, Jay Renee.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
And Jay Renee is, of course, a media sister. She is also in media as well. Tell us about your show and where we can hear you.
Okay, I'm a part of K10 Shoot 2, The Voice. We have the Weekend Takeover show every weekend from Saturday to Sunday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then I also have a podcast on YouTube called the Talk Be Podcast, where we don't just talk about music, we talk about all aspects of the culture, whether it be Hispanic culture or music culture or even identity culture. We tackle all of that.
Mm-hmm. That's good. I'm excited. Was very, very glad to meet you. Now, you attended, you and I, of course, and I've shared with the listeners that you and I attended some of the press conferences and all of the positive things that I had just been celebrating. But then we get to the Astroworld Festival, the actual music festival, and you were actually outside when the
Yeah.
stampede occurred. Tell us about it. What happened?
So first, it was a long walk. It was a long walk. I was like, ooh. I went with my co-host and friend Radio Rich, and a lot of people think that where the first interest, that was the general interest point, but no, that was just a health check. So upon going through that, you had to show either you had negative test COVID results or you were fully vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
That was just for us in line. And for the ladies, you had to have a clear purse unless you were media.
Mm-hmm.
And so we saw a lot of people get turned away, but we also saw a lot of people going through. We're just like, does the clear bag apply to everybody? So I was like, okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
I would just peep and just keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
So we're walking, and then we walk across the bridge across Kirby, and I looked ahead because you can see the whole parking lot from there. So
Mm-hmm.
I look and I'm like, I'm not walking that far, Rich. I'm not walking that far. Not from media. I'm not walking that far.
Mm-hmm.
So to the side, we see the VIP entrance, and coincidentally, we walked up there with Channel 2.
Mm-hmm.
Channel 2 and I believe Channel 13. We all walked up there together. Like they came from the left and we came from head on. And so they let us in, but I let those personnel go first because I'm like, they have a lot of bags and that's a lot of bags to get checked.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I was like, wow, look at all those people. And then all of a sudden it turned from one person to 10 people to 50 people. Then the whole crowd just went, ah, and they ran towards the general admissions entrance, but they were stopped by cops on horses.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, and in the video you hear me say, dang, horses do that? I mean, I said another word, but I was like, did horses do that?
Yeah, you're on Christian show.
Yeah,
We're on a Christian show today.
And then the personnel next to me, I forgot her name, but she was also working for Astroworld for the entrance, because you have to, when you have your bracelet, you tap it and then you walk through to get your bag checked.
Mm-hmm.
So we had our conversation, and I promise you, literally after we said that, it was like, and Rich, he put it perfect. He was like, it was a zombie apocalypse. Like they turned towards us. I said, I know good and well. Like I said, I bleep it like a lot of it out. So I was like, I know good and well they're not about to do this. And then, and they and between the general admissions entrance and out in the VIP entrance, it was probably a good 50 to 100 feet. So to have that much energy to sprint full force, and I was like, oh no, oh my gosh. So I was like, go Rich, go. And I acted like it was going to be my last time running. I ran full-fledged. I'm talking about like track star. And I didn't hear Rich because he went to the fence. He went to the fence and he was trying to call my name. So when I finally heard him, I had to maneuver through all of these people that are going full force. And honestly, it was like Simba and the wildebeest, to be honest. It's just going and going. And if they wanted to, if they were to hit you, you were going to fall. Regardless, you were going to fall. And one of the guys actually bumped into me, but he braced himself with his hands. And if he didn't, he was going to make that tackle. That tackle was going to be made on that concrete. And so I grabbed onto the fence, and we see security. There were no cops around. So we see security grabbing people, and one of the security guards picked the dude up and slammed him like a wrestling move on the concrete. And he winded up bloody, like the security personnel winded up real bloody. And they were trying to get people left and right. People were doing all types of moves to get away from security, and cops still were not there. Like, they still weren't there. So security, they really went above their entire job description to try to stop these people that were going through, and people were just coming and coming, and they broke all 4 metal detectors. There were 4 metal detectors. They broke all 4 of them, all of them, and
Wow.
it was after the aftermath was you still had people that were getting arrested, but then the cops finally came on horseback, and it was like kind of missed it. Kind of missed it.
Mhm.
A lot of people. Oh, sorry.
Was this the entry to get in? The force was coming in. Okay.
Right. They were all coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So when they couldn't get into the general admissions entrance, then they just went through the VIP.
So there's really no clear cause of anything that happened. There wasn't a shooting, a blast, or anything. What was taking place inside? Obviously, I'm sure you could hear the music. Now, when this took place, was Travis on the stage performing, or who was performing?
No, this was around, and ironically, this all happened within like 7 minutes. Like the stampede from start to finish was like 7 minutes, but it felt like 30. So upon entry, we finally walked in past the huge head and past Astroworld taking pictures. We had just missed Master P.
Mm-hmm.
We had just missed Master P's performance, but the crowd was already, getting into the wildness.
The frenzy.
And so Rich, he was like, Jay, I'm sorry, the background, that's my refrigerator. So Rich, even after the stampede, he was like, Jay, I don't feel good about this. I was like, what you mean? It's my first time here. I'm blinded by excitement because I'm like, I finally get to have pictures like everybody else did back in the day. Like, oh, I was here, wish you were here type stuff. And the whole time, Rich is like, Jay, something just don't feel right. I was like, okay, look, we just go walk, we go chill a little bit. It's going to be okay. But we saw the crowd. There were 2 stages.
Mm-hmm.
So Travis had his own stage, which was the mountain stage that everyone saw. But there was a second stage right next to it. That's where everyone else performed.
Mm-hmm.
Like Roddy Rich.
Right.
There's a Little Baby. That's where everybody else performed.
He had his exalted stage and everybody else was on the side.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
And so even the crowd over there, they were getting lit.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
But if you know about Travis Scott's concerts, even if you haven't physically been, they're all like that.
See, we don't know. I didn't know, and I had to ask my son, who's 9. He had to help me. I don't know a lot of people. There are a lot of people on the gospel side that I don't know, Jay Renee, because I'm busy with so much other stuff that I miss a lot. It's too many people. I can't keep up with all of these people. So, I mean, it really is. There are just too many people for me to keep up with. And so I don't know anything about his performances, his concerts. What is his concert like? So his concerts are always like that.
Yes, his concerts are always like that. So it's called like a rage. I understand this type of concept because when I went to PWI for college, and so I know exactly what it's like to rage, have a mosh pit.
So it's white folks stuff.
All of that.
We just gonna say it. Well, it is. You got black folks stuff, and you got
that white people may have called it first, but black folks doing the same thing. They just named it first.
Girl, we ain't had no moshing pit, no black folks ain't had no moshing pit. Well, we've been moshing folks.
I will say, like, walk around the club.
Thank you. Stop playing.
That is just something started right there.
We just call it something different. That's all it is.
Right. Like everybody broke off in their own circles. So
we call it getting crunk or we hype or something like that. But it's the same thing.
But I thought the mosh pit is when they pick people up and throw them around. Is that what it is?
It's like a mosh pit is just violence. Like you.
Yeah, it's just violence.
Pushing people. Okay, let me help y'all understand something. See, mosh pit is for you younger people because I'm in my 40s. I'm 43. So at about 18, 19, or 20, if you'd have pushed up on me or any of my friends, and hit us, I don't care who was singing. I really don't care who was on that stage.
Yeah.
You were gonna get got. I mean, and that's just that.
But here's the thing: in the mosh pit, that's okay. But
Okay, well, see, we ain't going in the mosh pit, but help us out, help us understand, Chaz and J Renee.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's all it is.
So this was the mosh pit, and this helps us understand because when you're watching the videos where they're giving the accounts of what happened, and they're talking about this, this helps us understand. So this is activity that takes place, because another young lady had told me some time ago at the gym about the rage or raves or something in Miami, and she was like, well, I didn't do the meth, and and I'm like, what, baby? And she was like, no, well, I attended, but I didn't do the meth because and I was like, is this normal behavior now?
Well, it actually is. And the thing was, after the stampedes, you have so many people coming in. Like, all you had to do is get past that health checkpoint. That was it. So everything else just didn't matter. And then when the stampede happened, they weren't thoroughly checking the bags.
Okay, so security. Now the report says that there was more security at Travis Scott at the Astroworld than at the World Series. Now that's not what I'm hearing from eyewitnesses.
I don't know if they came after we left, because we left.
So y'all gonna show up after the people got hurt.
I mean, I have the full video. Like, well, I thought I recorded it from start to finish where they were running, but I recorded me running and then tackling people. Like, my camera's just. As far as all that security, that had to have been after we left, because we left around, I would say 3:45-ish, because it's just that feeling. When you get that type of feeling, it's just like, no.
Let me ask you, J Renee, did you have any feeling, because I'm watching the eyewitness videos and people are sharing their experiences on YouTube and TikTok and everything, and everybody's like, I'm not religious, but I felt Satan. I mean, I don't go to church, but I felt demons and this type of thing. Did you feel that?
I didn't feel anything satanic or demonic, but it was like something was gonna happen.
So
like,
that was
because I couldn't put anything on it. It was just like, the more we walked around, the more I was just like,
something ain't right.
Yeah, something ain't right. Like how old people be like, something messing with the spirit, something messing with it.
Well, there's videos of people being pulled out of the concert. So my whole thing is something else was going on before this stampede. Because I know a lot of people focus on stampede, but there was stuff happening before. So, like, that's the part that I would want to know, like, what was happening to those people, because the experiences that people are talking about, you seeing people being pulled out, like, did you see any of that or experience any of that in any type of way?
What we saw, everybody was like, when we were walking out, there were people already blacked out drunk, and it wasn't even really 4 o'clock. So Travis hadn't even touched. He went on stage around like 8:45-ish. We were already gone. But walking out, you see people that are already drunk, already lit, and it's like,
already drunk and lit. Okay, lit for my, because I got some church mothers out there listening. Let's define lit, because I got some seeds.
There were some people that were already excited.
They are intoxicated or inebriated, or they were very, very excited and energetic or enthused about the moment. I'm just trying to bring that.
I want all our church people out there, our churchy folks, to understand that this experience is no different from the church. It's just the devil side. I'm just saying, we mosh pit in the church and don't even realize all them folks be up there shouting. and bumping into each other and all that. Ain't nothing but a mosh pit. that's
Somebody
all,
hit your elbow, be like, "Thank you."
that's all it
Sometimes
is.
what that honestly is, and people don't recognize it because you have to be versed in spiritual warfare. Some of what we call shouting and people getting their praise on is actually demonic manifestation, because you can actually discern and look at some of that shouting and you can tell, okay, that is not the Holy Spirit. There is something going on. There is something in there that's trying to get out, you know, and so I'm not impressed with so much shouting and people rolling and stuff like that, because I preach overseas. And so I've gotten up and, you know, said Jesus, and the people start slithering on the floor like snakes and stuff like this. So, I mean, we have had those in those encounters, but you know, yeah, you need to bring us up to date and up to speed, because, and it's not just about church people, because I'll be honest with you, there are a lot of young people, younger 30-year-olds, you know, people in their 30s. There's some right now, you know, early 40s were like, and even some in, you know, it's like, who is this person? Who is this particular person? But I think it causes us to have to open our eyes up. And when we talk about prayer and intercession, I always hear people about the church. We're praying, we're praying. What are you praying for? You know, like exactly, you're talking about doing youth ministry. Okay, because y'all helping me understand something here about the mosh pits and the raves and all of this stuff that's going on. Because y'all talking about this like this is normal.
Because it is.
Yeah, because it's because well, a lot of people have to understand we had COVID, and he throws this every year.
Right.
So it's also built up energy, and whatever else is built up within those people, whether it's excitement, rage, all of that, all the above. And so, you know, when you have all those people with the same energy, it's going to come out.
And energy is real. Energy is real, and energy is spirit. And again, we said this is alleged because we don't want anybody to go out and say that, you know, from this platform, our brand, that we're calling Travis Scott or anybody a devil worshiper, or we're demonizing anybody that was there, and saying that this is that. But sometimes we walk into things ignorantly. We don't know, and we've not come to that level of discernment, or we're ignoring the fact that, hey, this doesn't feel right, and maybe I should not go, or I should go home. Now, here's my take. This is what I believe honestly happens. Do I think that all of these stars, rappers, do I think these people are all devil worshipers? I do not. I do not. Do I believe they know who Jesus Christ is? I do. But this is what happens with people. We play with stuff. We play with things ignorantly. See, we don't understand spirituality, and we don't understand spiritual things. Because a lot of us are not in environments that teaches us about spirituality, that teaches us about that objects, you say energy, objects do carry energy, objects do carry frequencies. And we bring certain objects in our homes because we say, oh, it's cute, it's fashionable. We put certain objects on our back. This jacket that I have on, I modified it because it had a crossbone and skull when I purchased it, and I didn't even know it was on the back until I was at a conference, and a lady came to me and she said, do you not realize you have a mark of death on your back? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And when I took the jacket off and saw it, I saw this crossbone and skull. Now I said, now wait a minute, I ain't throwing this jacket away because I paid too much. So I got me some scissors and I went and modified it, and I just cut that little image off and I blessed it in Jesus' name. And I'm gonna put my jacket back on. But we are not, we don't recognize spiritual things. And when we come into, I was looking at the images, the spiral of fire, the pyrotechnics. Okay, it's given this image of hell, all of these images. Some people, because they were drunk, they were high, they were so excited, it took them into a hypnotic state. Hypnosis is real. And everything is hypnosis. A lot of times in church, y'all don't realize y'all get hypnotized.
Yeah.
Sometimes we say, oh, this person has just got a gift. Well, in a sense, it was hypnosis and it was programming. Because if I say something enough times, it's going to hit your subconscious. So when I call on you to respond to that, it's just like in church. Sometimes we say on the count of three, there's going to be a breakthrough in here. And you're going to shout and you're going to lift your hands and you're going to dance. When I count to three, everything you're going through is going to leave you. 1, 2, 3. Ah! Key up. Everybody go in. Hey, you don't realize that was a suggestion. It was a suggestion that was made to you. That's what it's called. It's a suggestion.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of times about the whole conversation about, was this demonic, was this warfare, this is spiritualism, and Travis Scott and all these people are doing voodoo and this type of thing. Dietrich Gaskins, he teaches a lot on this neuro-linguistic programming. Yeah, NLP is what it's called. And so, there are times we just get into stuff.
Yeah.
And we don't realize what we're getting into. We get into meditation. Nothing wrong with meditation. Meditation is in the Bible. But what are you meditating on? Or who are you tapping into? I'm tapping into spirit. Well, baby, it's a whole lot of spirits out there.
Right. But we do it every day with that. You go to the grocery store and they put certain snacks and certain things at the very front of the store because that's where you linger the most. And when you're in line, that's that. You know what I'm saying? That's why people end up grabbing stuff like that, or they'll put certain things on the side of the aisles for particular reasons. Like, we do it all the time. It's a type of marketing, or we call it marketing, but what was the what is it called?
Neuro-linguistic programming.
Neuro-linguistic programming. Like, that's what it is, so we have it every day. But just like anything that we do, eating food is an everyday thing, but gluttony is the sin. You see what I'm saying? So it's not It's not that every practice of it is demonic, like Bishop was saying. It's what you're practicing it with, So
yeah, you know what? Look at Tony the Tiger, and what's the bear? Snacks or smacks?
Teddy Graham.
Teddy Grahams, but the other one, smack. I don't know. But look at them all.
You talking
Sugar Bear.
Sugar Bear, yeah.
you check out Sugar Bear and all of them. If you notice, Toucan Sam, their eyes look like this. Their eyes look down, and like they're looking down at something, and their eyes are going in a direction. And I learned that that's because the children look up. The small kids.
Wow.
So it's like, mommy, I want Fruit Loops. And you don't realize, okay, Toucan Sam is looking. Now, mommy might be talking about, I don't have no Fruit Loops money. You're going to get Kroger brand. You're going to get Oops. But you're going to be eating Oops today, not Fruit Loops. You're going to eat Fruit Oops.
Great value.
Great. Come on,
GB.
I'm from Chasity, and we are from Dallas. Minions. When we grew up, it was Minions. They had high top, baby. I'm telling you, high top. And so you don't realize that the children are making connection with these, with these images. People, we don't think in terms of words. We think in terms of pictures. And
imagery is everything.
Pictures are everything. We think in terms of images. So you look at all of the images there, it all means something. The statue, the man with the braids, and the statue Jesus. That was there.
Oh yeah, him coming out of the box.
And then the mouth. That you
Yeah.
go through. My son is like, Dad, this is cringe. This is cringy. Or whatever. He's like, dude, bro. Yeah, I have to stop. Call me bro. Anyway, he's like, bruh. This is voodoo, bruh, in the 4th grade. Bruh, this is voodoo. This is demonic. And my son said to me, I was looking at something on Instagram, and the video, they had a song, and Travis Scott was featured on the song. And my son was like, Daddy, don't watch that video. I don't want you to get demonetized.
Oh, wow.
Listening to this song. And so even the children know that there's something going on. And my son is always like, Daddy, don't look at this or don't listen to this or whatever. And I'm like, I'm not gonna get demonetized. I'm okay. So I think a take home for us is that we've got to learn that in our quest for success and prosperity and some of the things that we get into, I have a book that is Techniques for Prosperity, right? And this book goes far beyond like visualizing and just seeing yourself prosperous and all this kind of stuff. This book flat out goes into witchcraft. And I bought the book some time ago and just never paid any attention to it. So I was preparing for something, for a seminar or something. And I said, let me see what's in this book. And I mean, this book was like, we're going to write this letter to a fairy. I'm like, child of God, I'm not writing no fairies today. Fairy ain't paying no bills. Fairy don't have no business being in the house. I'm not writing fairies. I'm not, you can call on this Hindu prosperity god. And I mean, these are things, this is simple. These are simple, innocent type things that we pick up and we dabble into. So some of our artists have these spiritual people, these gurus around them that take them into all types of different realms and spiritual realms. And at that level, 50,000 people, or that platform that a Travis Scott has or any of these people have, is magnified, is amplified. So you have people that are already in induced states, drunk and high. So this energy, like you say, Jay Renee, this energy goes out and it calls people and they begin to respond and they act in such a way. Jay Renee, let me ask you, what was the take home for you? What did you learn anything or get anything from the experience?
I'll be honest, that was my first and probably my last, because that was just too much. Like when you saw it from start to finish, it's just different. And then on the news, my mom was like, well, they showed the stampede. I said, they didn't show everything because I went in with them. They didn't show everything. And I was just like, it was a lot to process.
Do you think there are more than 8 people? Do you think there's more than 8 people that died?
I thought it was, yeah. But my whole thing, I was like, well, one, I had so many questions, like, why did the parents allow these kids to go to a concert like that? Because I was like, even when I was 13 and 14, Lil Bow Wow and Destiny's Child, when they came, I still had a designated person, like, with me. Another thing, it was like, why did it take so long for the cops to respond to certain situations like that? Like, they should have been there. And then like people are now they're trying to cancel Travis, and they're like it's so many questions, and you just have to take it in like that really happened. First and foremost, like that really happened. From start to finish, it was always something. Never like old people say, it's always stuff, never nothing.
What do y'all think is next? I mean, what do you guys think, or you ladies rather? What do you ladies think is next for this festival, for these types of events? I mean, what do you think is next? We need to have a glory fest, Chasity.
I don't have glory fest.
We need a glory fest now.
Listen, I get it done too. But I don't think anything is going to change. I think this is going to be the hype for a little while, like the norm, and then things will go back to normal. Because biblically speaking, from historic human fickleness, we forget the next day. I'm recalled in the Bible, I believe it was with Korah, when they came and rose up against Moses. And after these folks were swallowed up from the earth by God, the next day the children of Israel was still complaining and coming at Moses sideways. So we're fickle people. We don't recall at all. And this will be a short-lived, unfortunately, which is sad for those who have passed away, but it's no different from the George or anybody else, Breonna Taylor and them, like anything that happens, people get in a rage right then and there, and then it dwindles down in something else, and then they're focused on something else. So unfortunately, that's the world we live in. We live in the hype and in the moment, but we don't learn our lessons. So it's gonna get worse. That's my belief.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I just hope that people take this as a learning lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because it's like, for us that actually went and experienced this, it's something that we can't forget, even if we try. Like how that one family member always brings up that one story you try to forget, be like,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be like that. It's like, oh, remember at Astroworld, when this happened, that happened. It's like, dude, not trying to remember that. That I see your point, but not trying to remember that.
Mm-hmm.
And like, people, the ones that are suing, the people that are injured that are suing, is all of it is still crazy. It's going to be crazy for at least a few days, probably by the end of this week. It's going to be that crazy because they listed Travis Scott, they listed the promoters, the company, and they listed Drake. I was like, what did Drake have anything to do with
Yeah,
that?
they're suing Drake.
I was like, what?
Drake is being sued.
Was he a part of it? Like, I mean, like at the end of the day, people gonna go for the shit.
He was just a featured artist. So, I mean, like, that wasn't his festival. Like, granted, come on, like, I would go crazy. Well, no, not really. But you see Drake, he don't really come here like that. So it's like, oh my goodness. Oh, he brought somebody out. Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
And so the crowd went crazy on that. And I have seen other videos where people were fighting in the back. They were pushing. So it's like they're showing what they want everybody to see.
Acting a fool.
Yeah.
Let me just say it.
It's going to show what they want you to see. Like, I understand. I work with media.
Right.
They showed that one clip of the stampede. I'm just
Right.
like, y'all forgot it was a whole other stampede on the other side.
Right. And we live, with just the few second soundbite clips. That's where we get our media from, and that's where we formulate our conclusions about what anything is. I think it's very unfortunate, very tragic, because from my side of it, of talking about Travis Scott, I saw a young man doing some great things for people, for the urban community. I saw that. I know people right here in Houston that know him. And when I'm talking about people, I'm talking about his grandparents' friends. So I'm talking about like older people that know him and they speak of him fondly. They've not said anything, bad about him. So I don't think it's Travis Scott. I think it's who people are connected with. I don't think it's just Travis.
Well, yeah, I don't think
it's Travis
solo.
connections too. Come on, Chasity.
Yeah, I don't think it's solo, but at the same time, I feel like that goes back to works. You can do a lot of good works and still practice demonic things. Let's bring up my friend Kanye West. He ain't my friend for real, but I just wanted to say that. So, you chanting your mother's name on your record, that's demonic. It doesn't matter whether you knew it or not. It's still a demonic practice. Whether you chose to educate yourself on it or not. That's, to me, that's the same situation. Like, we don't live in an ignorant world. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry, like, you knew what your stage looked like. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a surprise. Like, the Ring of Fire, I didn't know that they was doing that. Like, stop. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, your representation was held. Like, that was something that y'all chose to do, whether it was your personal idea or not. You marked it and you gave the okay. That's what you went with. That's what you pushed. That it is what it is. You can't. No one's can knock good works, but all it is good works, because your good works don't supersede what you do as far as building people up spiritually. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that your good works don't mean much to me. You know what I'm saying? And I know we live in a world that places good works up here, you know what I'm saying? And we downplay things that we know ain't right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like drunkenness and promoting sex and things like that. Well, these same artists are demeaning women and don't care about children. You got artists, what's that boy name? Nas X or whatever, just straight up said F your kids on radio. Like, so I don't care if he gave to the children's hospital. He verbally said it. So my whole thing is like, I'm not finna take, because you did some good works a couple of days or whatever, I'm not gonna take that and act like other things that you've implemented and you pushed is okay just because you got some good works next to you. I just wanted to tap in on that.
Right, and I get what you're saying. And when I'm talking about the good side of it is because all of the community initiatives were a part of the festival. And so at the beginning of the festival, and I'm separating the and the funny thing about it is, Jay Renee, you probably recognize this from a media standpoint. Travis Scott's name is really disconnected from the Cactus Jack Foundation. His name wasn't on anything. It's Cactus Jack Foundation. The Astroworld Festival is Cactus Jack Foundation. Travis Scott is just the visionary.
He's the
behind the
bring the people
foundation.
in man.
Right. Say it again.
And that's what I looked at after everything. I was like, the conference we went to, it was Cactus Jack Foundation and Travis Scott.
Yes, and
there was no association with either one. Now I can't speak on how people felt in that moment at the concert because I didn't go. So if they felt, it did, like they were in hell and stuff. I never went to hell. Okay, I never went to hell. I may say it's hot as that.
Right.
In Houston. But I don't want to experience it. I'm cool on that. I'm cool.
We ain't
I can't handle heat. I'm an asthmatic. I can't do that.
No, that's right.
And so even when people are asking me, you were in the thing. No, I would not have survived. I would not. I can't even handle scented lotion or scented Kleenexes. So that would not have been me. And the people that I did ask that when I was checking on my people the next day, I was like, yo, are you good? You good? And if you didn't respond to me in a certain amount of time, I was like, oh my goodness. Like I was already just crying. And it's like these people were already hyped up on something. It was already something.
They were already there. People were already in a state to where they could be drawn into anything. They were already in that state. People were drunk. They were high, and this wasn't an event really where Pookie and them showed up too, because the ticket started at $400.
Right.
Which is ridiculous.
So the ticket started at $400.
I was like, woof.
VIP was much, much more. So, I mean, Pookie and Ray Ray wasn't even up there. They was listening from their grandmama's porch.
Right. We was, when I say we was sprinkle, not sprinkle, we was sprinkle.
Exactly. So again, our thoughts and our hearts go out to, and our prayers go out to everyone that was injured or affected in any type of way, not just those who lost their lives, but for everyone. That was a traumatic experience. But my prayer is that it's a wake-up call. Yeah. My prayer is that it is a wake-up call for us to be more aware of what we are attending, of what we're participating in. I get it. We didn't have it because of COVID, and we've been locked up. Y'all ain't been locked up for a year.
That part. Tell the truth. Come
because
on
Houston was clubbing before the clubs had opened around the world. We are in Houston. People were flying into Jay Renee, I'm right. People were coming into Houston to party. People were coming into Houston for events because clubs here got food and beverage license, and they put grill on the back of their name and started a brunch. It was selling hot dogs and chicken wings. And people were still. So, y'all been out there. This whole thing, we've been locked up. We've been in the house. Y'all have been out there.
Y'all been in people's houses, house parties. What was that? It went viral. It was a house party in Chicago. Yep. I don't know how they fit that many black people in one house because
it you wasn't. Mean when the floor caved in?
Yes.
Was at, I forgot. It was at someone's college, and I was like, "You ain't getting your deposit back."
Exactly, but that wasn't even a house party. It was on live, and people were sharing that there was this house party going on in Chicago, and people were everywhere in the middle of the pandemic. Young folks. Now, Pookie and Ray Ray and Kilolo was at that party. They were not at the Astroworld Festival because needs cash.
The crazy thing is, so he did stop his show from the videos I've seen. He did stop it to get security over there because security stood on the side. And he was like, hey, let's get security right here. Come on, guys, hurry up. Come on. And, they got the young man out. And from different accounts, it was like they didn't know what to do. Like, we entered, it was only 2 EMS stations. There were only 2.
Mm-hmm.
So it was one by the media tent, and then the other one was on the far side of the parking lot. Well, not the parking lot, but the area. And I was like, why are there only 2? There's gonna be a lot of people. And they weren't huge. They weren't huge at all.
Mm.
And they were driving around on these little dune buggies, just driving. And it was hot. Like, even though it said it was cold, it was hot. It was hot in that area. It was hot. You had people sitting under the ventilation tree. It looked like a weeping willow tree, to be honest. And they were just, everybody was crowded in this one area, and it wasn't big at all. It was a patch of grass, the weeping willow tree, and they were just everybody sitting there trying to cool off and stuff.
Mm.
And I also feel bad for the people who put money on their bracelets.
Oh yeah, because it was cashless, so they put money on their bracelets. My theory is so what happened? I'm sure they got their money back on the bracelet. You couldn't get your money back?
What's on there? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you could or not, but because it said magic money on the side, so I thought I could win $1.
That was another thing that was tripping me out too, because it was talking about get your magic money bracelet, magic money. I was like, well, we gonna win the lottery or something?
That's what I thought. That's what I said. Ooh, I get to go to a concert and then I can win. So I walked in there. I said, Rich, hold this. I got to stretch for I can get this day. I said, hold on, I'm about to win some money. I went over there. I said, wait, cash, card? What you talking about? What's up? They're like, oh no, just put money on your bracelet. I was like, for what?
Wow. Y'all, I'm just gonna say it. Y'all stop playing with magic and playing with stuff and playing with all of this stuff. Y'all just stop. Just stop playing with stuff because you see somebody else doing it and it seems like it's a popular thing to do because you really don't know what you're getting yourself into and what you're opening the door to. Now, Cat Williams, and by the way, wait a minute. By the way, if you don't know what's going on,
it's the Rich Living Morning Show, right here with Bishop Richard Harper. Keep it locked.
All right, this is still the Rich Living Morning Show. I just needed to know because somebody was probably like, what's going on with Bishop? We have great gospel music and inspiring conversation, okay? Yeah. And I played all the good gospel for y'all this morning. Just Jesus. We took y'all to church.
Come on here.
We needed to talk about this today because, I'm concerned. I'm really concerned about people. But anyway, Cat Williams, being the funny man that he is, he kind of took a little moment to throw some shade.
When don't he?
Someone in his Saturday night performance, someone in the audience passed out, And so he paused, he stopped, and he said, I'm sorry if I won't move on, but that blank that happened at, that Astroworld, that means we can never continue until we know somebody's good. He said some other expletives. The comedian said on stage at the KFC Yum Center in Louisville, Kentucky, according to TMZ. So he had to take his moment to throw his shade there and said that moving forward, y'all moving forward, when people start passing out now we don't have to worry about that in the church, do we?
I hope not.
Nah,
But at
people have
church,
been
if you
passing
pass
out.
out, they'd be like, let him use you. Let him use you. Like, how about he want to use us to pick them up?
And
be
the
like,
other thing about being in the church is that when I was growing up in the sanctified church, if you fell out and you got up and say you were hurting, they said you wasn't in the spirit.
You ain't never lied. You ain't never. That'd be the first day you weren't really in the spirit. You was faking.
Hey, that's what they're going to say to you. They're going to say you are not in the spirit. So y'all need to make sure I don't think we're going to have these problems out there, but I definitely want to thank my girl, Jay Renee, for stopping by today and chatting with us and having this conversation with us today on the Rich Living Morning Show. I look forward to us collabing again and doing
thank
some
you all for
things.
having me.
She's over there at KTSU. They
Two.
blew two.
You got to
That's
say
all
two.
right. It's still got the letter. It might be two, but two is the door to one. Chasity Latrice, my girl. I'm telling you, I thank you. Y'all don't realize Chasity is like my daughter. That's why I call her daughter. Any other time. Thank you so much, my dear. We look forward to you being on every Monday for Mix It Up Monday. All of our Facebook viewers out there, thank you so much for tuning in. And God bless you. E. Frank, Bishop Anthony Gaffney, Dietrich Gaskins was on, Steve Dalton. Thank you for joining in on today. And others of you, but that's just the names that I could see. Hey guys, we'll be back in the morning at 7 a.m. for Testimony Tuesday right here on the Rich Living Morning Show. But it's that time of day for me to put it away. I got to make room for Lady T and the church show that's coming on at the 10 o'clock hour. Always know that I love you, ain't a thing you can do about it. But greater than that, God loves you first and God loves you best. Remember, if you think rich, you will feel rich, and then you will live rich. Keep living rich, y'all. I'll talk to you in the morning. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Sit down, but I could